of magnets and magnetic poles. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast of The Ordinary Maverick. This is Ajay, your host, an ordinary maverick, sharing real life thoughts and experiences and maverick tips. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do so, and you'll not miss another episode. Recently, I've been found myself thinking about magnets. It all started when we were scheduled for a visit to the magnetic island off the coast of North Australia. We were meeting dear friends after decades, and they felt that no trip to that part of Australia was complete without going to the magnetic island, Maggie, as it's called fondly by the locals. We were immensely grateful as all our bookings were done and we were set to explore Magnetic Island on jet skis from the ocean. Quite a special tour that gets booked out easily, so definitely needed some pre-planning there. To get to Maggie, we needed to hop onto a ferry from the mainland and then get a bus that took us across the island to the other side where the jet ski tour started. While on the ferry, we started chatting and wondering why this was called the Magnetic Island. Were there some magnetic poles? What was the history here? Well, Magnetic Island was named by Lieutenant James Cook in 1770. He believed that his magnetic compass on his ship was affected by the island and thought there were magnetic signals emanating from there and gave the island its name. Of course, lots of studies were done and no special magnetic signals were found. There's another story quite making the rounds that Cook has left his metal cup near the compass that made the compass needle go all over. Yeah, well, whatever it was, the island got its name and it's stuck. Today, the island is a favorite picnic spot, a holiday place with lots of fun activities. Arriving at the ferry terminal, we stepped out to wait for the island bus, which in true synchronized fashion arrives just a little after the ferry comes in, giving time for passengers to get to the bus stop. You have to give the exact cash to get your tickets on the bus. No credit cards are used here. Luckily for us, our friends were well experienced and came prepared with the right change. We sat on the bus which made its way through the island roads, stopping at the assigned bus stops, passengers getting in and out until we reached the northern side of the island where we needed to get off for our jet ski tour. One can also bike around the island or hike, but the most common way of getting around is the bus. Experiences like these help one go back in time and relax actually. In our short 2-day trip to Townsville in North Australia, we were fortunate to have the Maggie experience, all thanks to our dear friends. Fellow Mavericks, typically a magnet is a material or object that produces a magnetic field. This magnetic field is invisible but is responsible for the most notable property of a magnet, a force that pulls on other ferromagnetic materials such as iron, nickel, cobalt, etc., and attracts or repels other magnets. If you are a travel crazy family like ours is, the one thing in common we will have for sure are magnets on our refrigerators. Over the years, we have collected so many magnets that now we have to buy more refrigerators to put them all up. That will be the day, right? Buying a refrigerator just to display one's fridge magnets. Well, there are other solutions too, of course, like having a separate magnet board and displaying magnets there. Earlier on, we used to be crazy about picking up souvenirs from every place we traveled. Then, over the years, we realized, gosh no, what are we going to do with all these things? And with each of our relocation moves, we just couldn't keep up and keep carrying everything around. So now, we have come to the solution of fridge magnets. Get a magnet from the place you've been. It's small and easy to carry, easy to display, and still serves as a real nice reminder of the memories created in a new place. But speaking of magnets, our Earth is a magnet. Yes, the crust of the Earth has some permanent magnetization and the Earth's core generates its own magnetic field. The flowing of the liquid metal in the outer core of the planet generates electric currents. The rotation of the Earth on its axis causes these electric currents to form a magnetic field which extends around the planet. This immense magnetic field is called the magnetosphere. In fact, the human body naturally has both magnetic and electrical fields. Right down to the tiny cells in our body, every part of our body has their own field. That's why they say that when you meet someone, you have an instant connect, and vice versa too. You just for some reason can't get along or don't feel comfortable. Some say it's to do with the magnetic fields. The instant attraction and love at first sight? It must have been some magnetic alignment for me and my wife, as we did have that instant connect, and the magnetic fields still seem to be going strong 28 years on. I always say one needs to sharpen one's senses, be acutely sensitive to the signals, and the message will come through clearly. Little did I realize it was all due to the magnetic fields and the interplay of the pull and the push that makes that feeling stronger or weaker. Let's keep our magnets going strong. Can make the difference between a lifetime of sorrow and worry or comfort and happiness. Let me share our experience with the magnetic fields of the earth and their directions. You might have heard about the art of Vastu and the art of Feng Shui. Vastu Shastra is the ancient art of traditional Indian science of architecture. It is about designing buildings, including homes and workspaces, in a scientific way, taking advantage of the benefits bestowed by nature, its elements, and the energy fields for enhanced wealth, health, prosperity, and happiness. Vastu is the science of directions and combines all the five elements of nature and balances them with the man and the material. And then there is the art of Feng Shui. It's the practice of arranging the pieces in living spaces to create balance with the natural world. Literally, it means the wind and the water. And in the Chinese culture, both wind and water are associated with good health. And so, Feng Shui came to mean good fortune. Here, there is a lot of emphasis on natural flow and bringing the good energy into our homes and lives. There are many viewpoints on these practices, but I can say from our own experiences that both of these have been very beneficial in our lives and homes. It all started when my wife's cousin persuaded her to learn more and take a course in these sciences and practices. My wife got totally engaged and convinced to try this out in our home, and that was it. In just a few months' time, we bought a new house. It was one of those funny things that happen. We hadn't thought we could afford a new place in this particular area of town, and although would have loved to have our own place, didn't think it was possible. And at that time, we were staying actually in a company-supported place. Well, doing Feng Shui and some Vastu in our home changed the configuration, and we landed up moving from this place into our new home in a matter of months. This, convinced us so much that we decided to do up our entire new apartment as per Vastu and Feng Shui. And I'm not speaking of just the general science. Since my wife had done a course, we went in a step further and customized this to each person living in the house and really brought in the science behind it all. The result? A customized scientific new home remodeled with colors and fixtures and decoratives that were tailored to give the best energy flow, the best magnetic pulse and vibrations for every member living in the house to be their best. We couldn't believe it when, within a few months of us living there, out of the blue, both of us, myself and my wife, get promotions at work. New opportunities, in fact, that take us on exciting career paths, which, when we now look back, were game changers in so many ways. Another thing we noticed was the general feeling in the house, the atmosphere, the energy, and the number of people that came in and said, "Oh wow, your home is so warm and welcoming." There was just something about the colors, the flow of the spaces, and the use of lighting that changed the look and the feel of the home. It kind of, sealed it for us then. And till date, we have always applied the art of feng shui and vastu in all our homes across the world in different countries. It doesn't cost a thing but can change the course of one's life. It, well, did it for us. If you haven't delved into this before, believe in the power of magnets and the pulls and energy flows. Fellow Mavericks, it can and will change your life. Do keep writing your comments and sharing your feedback via our Instagram at The Ordinary Maverick or through our hashtag The Ordinary Maverick. I love hearing from you. This is Ajay signing off and wishing you have an amazing day, a super amazing year. Keep well, stay safe. Credits. This podcast series was put together as a team effort from the Bhardwaj family. Concept, design, title, researchers and reviewers Ajay, Sanjana, Avantika and Niharika Bhardwaj. Script, Sanjana. Cover design, Niharika. All rights reserved.